our shaker pendant that's going to be coming up and is already very, very popular. Okay, coming up now, this is the quintessential Herkimer Diamond Quartz Stud. This is what Deb is wearing. This is about, what, the size of a 1.5 carat diamond in each ear, probably. So they're the perfect size.
Dimensional.
I'm getting these. I need these. I do not have this yet.
I love these earrings, ladies. I wear them all the time. Because, and every time I have them on without fail, somebody will stop me and say, oh, I love those. Are those diamonds? Because they have the look of an organic diamond. When they're on your ear like this, they have the depth to them, they have the dimension. You see, there's only 4 prongs holding this piece in, very secure, but yet exposing the entire natural beauty of the stone.
Okay, and one other thing that I want to tell you about this, Deb is absolutely right. This is the hottest thing happening in diamond, especially a lot of the young people. My son is a jeweler, you've heard me say that before, but he makes a lot of rough cut diamond rings like this. I think he's done at least 5 or 6 now. The girls love this. The young girls want something cool and organic. So the point is, this looks like you are wearing the rough cut diamond studs. If these were diamonds, a 1.5 carat rough cut diamond in each ear. First of all, they might not be this pretty. They sometimes are not this white, bright, and clear. But beyond that, you are into the thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. This is $29.90. They are so cool. They're the perfect size. You will love wearing them. They're the actual natural Herkimer Diamond Quartz mine in Herkimer County, New York, in the Mohawk River Valley, where, again, for hundreds of years, the people who live in this area, when they were first discovered, they thought they were diamonds because they looked like diamonds. They didn't look like regular quartz, and they don't. They are harder than any other quartz stone on earth. They are water clear. They sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. They are beautiful. So you get to own this gorgeous Herkimer diamond stud. There you can see on Val. Val, that looks fabulous on your ear. Deb lives in these. We have had our girls ask for these. You've had more requests for this size in a Herkimer for your ear, an everyday earring that matches everything else in your wardrobe. And I would encourage you, for those of you that are here now, because I think this is scheduled to air. Deb and I have a show tonight at 9, and I think this was supposed to be back tonight in the 9 o'clock show. It may not make it to the 9 o'clock show by the looks of things here. We are very busy. We have a few more than 1,000 of these available. I know that sounds like a lot, but you're getting a really cool earring. So much lore, so much, when we talk about the properties of Herkimer, Google it, read about it, you will be blown away. These are considered to be the most powerful in terms of transmitting and focusing energy than any other mineral on Earth.
Exactly. And nothing has been done to this stone, ladies. This is exactly how the stone comes out of the ground in these earrings. Out of actually the pocket. When I say the ground, I'm talking about when they mine it for us in upstate New York, in the Adirondack foothills of the Adirondack Mountains. This is exactly how the stone presents, right out of the dirt. And all that we've done is take it and set it in 4 prongs for you. So you're getting an absolute, perfectly untouched treasure that all we've done is mount for you.
That's it. And Deb has actually been to the mines. I still have to get up there. They had a fire last year, and we were all heartbroken, but they have been rebuilding. They are now open for business. If you want to go mining for Herkimers, guess what? You can go. Now, you're not guaranteed that you're going to find Herkimers. I mean, you have to get in there and hunt. But what a fun, cool experience it is. And there is Deb working with the miners directly. One of the things that makes this collection very unique, there is nowhere in the world where you can buy like this on TV directly from the owner of the Herkimer Diamond Mine. That's how we have values like this, because normally, and most of us we didn't even know about Herkimer until Deb brought this collection to HSN. Why? Well, first of all, a lot of people were not designing jewelry in the United States making this. Deb brought her beautiful, inspired design to this cool organic stone and started really educating all of us on the beauty, the fascination of these Cambrian age stones, the oldest mineral deposit. And by the way, the mine is owned by the only female mine owner in the world. Right. So it's a really exciting story. You are supporting an American company, an American business, an American mine stones by American miners. It's just a really cool thing when you discover Herkimers. They tell a story for sure. There's no other stone like this. It is fascinating. No two will be identical because they're like snowflakes. They're like fingerprints. Every one will be slightly different because that is the inherent nature of a Herkimer diamond, that each are slightly different. However, they sort these by hand. Every single stone is sorted, and when they go to make your earrings, they try to match them as closely as possible so that your earrings are very similar and close in match.
It's very personal, ladies. It's a passion, and it's labor intensive, and it's all done by people who have such a passion for this organic gemstone. And we're bringing it to you because we can only by working directly with the mine.
Right.
Nobody else can do this in the quantities that we're bringing you. In fact, if you stumble across a design of a Herkimer diamond piece in any boutique, chances are it's a small designer that has made that one of a kind.
Exactly.
Which is exactly how I started.
That's what you were. When we found Deb, she was a one-of-a-kind designer.
Because you can't mass produce, if you will, Herkimer pieces.
Exactly.
Because they're all unique. They're all one of a kind in a way.
You're right.
So each piece you're getting is one of a kind with a little story to tell.
Yep, and you know, we wouldn't even be able to do it if Deb were not partnered directly with the mine owners. This is the only collection of its kind probably anywhere. I mean, certainly at HSN, where the mine owner, the people that own the mine, that own the stones, come directly out of the ground, they sell directly to HSN. There is no middle person here. I mean, it's the only one of its kind. I even think of, you know, I love Jay King. I worked with him